Hey everybody, Dog8798 here. This is my salute of the children's television block Kids WB. Kids WB, according to Wikipedia, aired from 1995 till 2008, and in 2008 their block was purchased by 4Kids, and 4Kids renamed it CW4 Kids TV. I first saw Kids WB in 1996, and I enjoyed it all the way till the end of its run in 2008. And Kids WB still exists today as an online network, but as an online network where you get to watch a lot of their shows via internet. Kids WB, just like Fox Kids, was a huge part of my childhood. There was lots of cool shows that I haven't seen in a while. The very first show I got to talk about on Kids WB was I started watching Kids WB in 1996, and the very first two shows I saw were Batman the animated series and Superman the animated series, which are some of the best adaptations of those characters. I think the DC animated universe cartoons featuring Superman are and Smallville and the Superboy live action television series are in my opinion the best adaptations of Superman outside of his comic books. And Batman animated series, one of the greatest shows of all time. Both of these shows changed my way of what I thought about both of these DC heroes. I grew up with the campy Super Friends cartoons, which were entertaining, but the DC animated universe blows those out of water. These changed my way of thinking with these characters. Then, of course, you had the sequel to that, The New Adventures of Batman, where they added Tim Drake, the younger Robin, and Dick Grayson, the older Robin, became Nightwing. And you had Superman appearing in several adventures too. Then, of course, go to Batman Beyond. I have much more appreciation for this show now than I did when I was younger. I've always enjoyed watching this show, but I have more appreciation for the plot and the whole new direction it's Gotham several years into the future. Bruce Wayne is now too old to be Batman, so now he has a new he has Terry McGinnis take up the Batman mantle. Batman mantle. This was an awesome show and an awesome remake of Batman. Then of course you had the Zeta Project, which was a cool DC show that wasn't even based on a DC comic. Then of course comedy, cool shows like Animaniacs and The Pinky and the Brain, which started off as a segment on Animaniacs and later spun off into its own show. So happy those shows are back on the hub today. Then of course you have the Tasmanian Devil cartoon, which I think was also on Cartoon Network. Then you had Freakazoid, which I think was on Kids WB first. I can't remember if that was on Kids WB or just Cartoon Network. Then, of course, another show I haven't watched in a while is Waynehead, which was this African American show about this guy with a metal foot. I haven't watched that show in a while, but that was one of my all-time favorite shows when I was younger. You had Men in Black, the animated series, the show with the two agents killing aliens. Then, of course, you had what other shows you had at that time? What other shows did you have at that time? So, you had the Road Rovers, which was a show about anthropomorphic dogs in these metallic suits fighting crime. I haven't seen that in a while, but that was a cool show. You had Earthworm Jim, which I had no idea was based on a video game first. I thought the cartoon was first because it always seemed like a cartoon. But I used to love watching Earthworm. I used to hugely be into Earthworm Jim when I was younger. I used to play the video game a lot. I haven't seen that cartoon in a while now. If I can find some episodes on the internet, I might review it. Then of course that's the 90s. Now for the 2000s and the 2000s, you had awesome shows like X-Men Evolution, the X-Men show where they envisioned Cyclops, Jean Grey, and all those other characters as younger characters. Awesome remake of X-Men. Then of course you had Ozzy and Drix, based on the Osmosis Jones movies. Osmosis Jones movies. Then you had Jackie Chan Adventures, a fictionalized Chinese animated version of Chinese American animated show about Jackie Chan. The Batman, a similar show to the Jackie Chan Adventure show. Awesome remake of Batman, Shaolin Showdown, another Chinese American influence show about these four characters, Omi and the rest, Omi, Kimiko, Raymundo, and Clay looking for Shingon and stopping the evil forces of Jack Spicer. Another cool, awesome show on Kids WB. Mucha Lucha, the hilarious professional Hispanic Lucha, the hilarious Lucha Libre professional wrestling type show. Then of course you had Legion of Superheroes. Legion of Superheroes, an underrated DC cartoon about a couple of superheroes going back into the past to get Clark Kent to come help save their future. Then of course you had Lunatics Unleashed, a badass action show featuring the Looney Tunes characters. Then of course, the one thing I don't like about Kids WB is Johnny freaking Test. Johnny freaking Test, but at least back then it wasn't Johnny Test wasn't as bad back then because it wasn't as featured as much. It was on at 9:30s in the morning. Now it's all over the television channel. Then you had shows. Then of course, you had mega popular shows like Yu-Gi-Oh. I was hugely into Yu-Gi-Oh back when it was on this block. I still am today, but not as much as I was when I was back when it was on this block. Then of course you have Pokemon, which Pokemon I remember how much of a huge phenomenon that was when it first showed up in 1998. And on Kids WB, that was just such an awesome interactive channel. I loved how they had their own version of Toonami. I love how they showed other shows like What's New Scooby Doo, and I love the various bumpers featuring the cartoon characters interacting with each other. Well, this was my salute of Kids WB. Doug out.